Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 71 of Self-Made. If you're new here, because I know there's a lot of new faces, I was going to say faces, but this is pretty much a faceless podcast. So I know there's a lot of new ears here. And if you are new here, welcome. Very happy to have you on board. My name is Jason Shipway. I am the host, and I'm also the founder and managing director of a business called Enhanced Cleaning, which operates in Perth and Bunbury, Western Australia. Now, the reason we had so many new people come into our ecosystem, into our world, is because I was on Channel 7's The Morning Show, and that was a lot of fun. I got to speak to Larry and Kylie about my business journey and the stuff that I'm passionate about. So that was a great segment. If you're interested to see that or hear about it, I'm going to attach it to the end of this podcast. So there'll be a recording of it at the end of this, and you can also head to enhancedcleaning.com.au/The Morning Show. I'm going to make a little link there. And yeah, I'll speak more about that a bit later. But our most recent episode, I interviewed Jim Penman, founder and CEO of Jim's Group. Again, incredible episode. So much great feedback about that. Even my dad listened to it and he was like, that was an incredible episode. So really stoked with that. I put a lot of prep work into that, did a lot of research, and had what I believe was the best set of questions, and just kind of hope for the best, and that's all you can really do. So yeah, really happy with the result of that. And here we are today. So a lot has happened in the last couple of weeks. It's been a very, very eventful few weeks. So yeah, I was on the morning show on Friday. It's currently, what is it today? It's Tuesday. So last Friday I was on the morning show. That's why I'm currently in Sydney. I flew over for it. I am recording this on video, so if I can figure this out and make it go well, I'll put this up on YouTube as well. But yeah, I'm in Sydney at the moment. I'm in a place called Mosman, a very, very beautiful part of Sydney. Actually, it's very nice. I've got a view of the harbour from way up in the hills, and yeah, it's been nice. So I came here for a week just in case the morning show needed to bump my segment because that's what usually happens in TV. Things just get moved around. Everything's always last minute and nothing's ever set in stone. So yeah, but I'm going to talk about how I kind of got to that point. And it was actually kind of intentional. I sort of rigged the game in my favor. So I think this was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I got an email from the producers at the morning show asking if I would like to come on. They asked if I'd be available for a Zoom interview or if I'm back in Sydney anytime soon to come into studio and do it. And of course, I said I'll come into studio and do it because that's way better for content. It's way better for branding. It's way better for authority and credibility. And I just wanted to do that because that would be cool. So the reason they emailed me is because I made a viral TikTok video. And that video was the Kmart mop video, the dual section spin mop video that I made. That got like 1.5 million to 2 million views across my social platforms. Actually, I think it's got about 2 million now. So it's got 1.3 million on Instagram, something like that. And it's got about 700,000 on TikTok. So it just went absolutely bananas. The mop was selling out everywhere, and I knew that was going to happen because, you know, everyone has different content cycles. Everyone makes different kinds of content, and some people just get better reception on certain types of video than others. For example, I see there's one particular person, she does like cleaning vlogs, like all of her videos is like vlog style. Whereas and she gets a lot of views. Whereas if I make those kind of videos, they're fun to make and I love making them, but they don't perform as well. My audience likes to see me doing shopping videos, like haul videos, product reviews, and like really like tackling really tough cleaning tasks like built up showers and things like that. So I made this video knowing that this was what was red hot to my audience and this is what was going to perform really well on social medias. And I'm in a group chat with Mrs. Muscle Cleaning, King's Cleaning Co. and Megan War from Valley to Beach Forensic. And before I even made this video, I was like, guys, I have this video idea. I'm making it right now. This is going to go absolutely ballistic on social media. Watch this space. I was like, this is probably going to be as good as my Bunnings video. I just had that feeling and I had that inkling because I knew my audience well, and I knew my target audience. I knew the type of videos that perform well. And so you'll notice if you look at my TikTok, there's like certain types of videos that always get consistently a lot of views. And it's so intentional the way that I make those. So in video creation, in content creation, in personal branding particularly, you've got what's called top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel. Now, top of funnel for me is a video like that Kmart mop video. It's a video to bring a ton of people into my audience, a ton of new people into my audience. It doesn't have to be any type, it can be any type of person. Like, the idea is just to get as many eyeballs on the content as possible. So I was like, if I make a video that gets, 2 million views, 5 to 10,000 followers, that is a great top of funnel piece of content that's going to bring a lot of people into my audience that I can then send through the middle funnel. And then middle funnel is like where you start to really nurture and build a relationship between yourself, the content creator, or the personal brand, or the company, and the viewer. It's where you start to build a relationship. It's where you start to educate them a little more on what you do, and they get to see how passionate you are about what it is that you actually do. And then bottom of funnel is where you really start to hone down and make really niche videos that convert people into paying customers. So that's kind of how the top, middle, bottom funnel works. And each kind of video has its own place within that funnel. So that video I made about the mop in Kmart, that is a very intentional top of funnel video. It is designed to bring a lot of people into my audience. I see other people are kind of copying it now. A lot of people copied my Bunnings shopping video, and a lot of people did really well with that. My Bunnings video where I went shopping got like 5 million views. I've seen other people copy it and they get like 500,000 to 2 million views doing the same thing. And it's because it is a proven formula. It works. And it's great at bringing new people into your audience because, and that's what you need in order to build the middle of funnel and bottom of funnel, which is what really matters. And it's what really, it's what you love to do. The middle and bottom of funnel, for me particularly, that's the stuff I really love doing, even though it doesn't get as many views, but it's also what generates the most amount of revenue for me and the most amount of profit. And so, yeah, I made that video. I sent it in the group chat. I was like, guys, this video is going to do numbers. This is going to be great. I was like, this is probably going to get picked up by press because media loves when you name drop like Woolies or Kmart or Bunnings. They just love that stuff. They eat it up. And I was like, I'm going to make a viral video about a product from Kmart that not many people know about. It's going to get picked up by press. It's going to make the rounds. It's going to get reposted, all this stuff. I'm probably going to get brand deals out of it. And as a byproduct of that, I'm going to get a lot of new followers, a lot of new viewers, and a lot of new quotes for the business. And that's exactly what happened. I posted it. It just went nuts straight away. It got like 300,000 views in the first 24 hours, and it just did not stop from there. It's still going to this day. I posted that like nearly 2 months ago. It's still getting a ton of views and followers every day. And on the back of that, I got a lot of customers at Enhanced Cleaning through the cleaning business. And I got, the biggest one was I got an offer to go on the morning show. They saw that video, and from that, they invited me onto TV, which is just incredible. And I mean, I didn't expect that. But it was very, very planned and very intentional. That video, that type of video, the way I posted it, the way I edited it, it was very intentional at rigging my own success, rigging success from that video. And so I was in Yahoo Lifestyle and Yahoo News like 4 times off that video. They made an article about the video on Daily Mail. It was in news.com.au, it was in MSN, it was in all these different publications, which again, it gives more credibility to me in the business. It generates customers directly because people see that. It gets a lot of eyeballs on it. And it builds the organic search presence of my business because every time someone makes an article, I just make sure to let them know about my business and I ask them to link my business in the article. And you know why I do that? It's because I get backlinks, and backlinks are what build SEO. If you get a link to your website on a website like Yahoo News or Yahoo Lifestyle or Daily Mail, that builds domain credibility for your business. And then you can start to build backlinks and SEO. So now no one is ever going to overtake me on Google search because I have so many backlinks and I've got so much authority behind my domain and my business. There's so much brand equity tied up in there. But anyway, I digress. I just wanted to illustrate how kind of intentional that was and how one video can really like change the trajectory of what you're doing in your business and your personal brand and all that stuff. So that was a lot of fun. But I expected all the news articles and all that press and the brand deals that came from it. I got about 3 brand deals from that video because of what people saw. I even got signed to a talent agency off that video, but I did not expect to be invited onto the morning show with Larry and Kylie. So that was quite special. And yeah, I flew to Sydney. We did the interview on Friday. It went really well. I was super stoked about it. I was really nervous about it. And because it was my first in studio TV interview. As some of you may know, I've done TV in the past. I've been on The Project, The Today Show, 9 News, 7 News, whatever. Everything has been either pre-recorded or it's been talking to a camera. It hasn't been in studio face-to-face with the presenters. And so it was quite nerve-wracking, but I invited Scott and Gabby from Kings with me. So they accompanied me and they were a big support, and it was great to have them. It definitely calmed my nerves a little bit. And no, the segment went really well. And again, if you want to watch that, enhancedcleaning.com.au/The Morning Show or /Morning Show. I'll put both links up there, and I'll also just paste that recording at the end of this podcast if you want to listen to it. So yeah, they asked me about the business. They asked me about trauma and crime scene cleaning. They asked me about how I kind of got into this, just some obviously cleaning tips and tricks because their audience eats that stuff up. And what I was really surprised by was they asked me about this podcast. That really surprised me. And I think they probably didn't do their research well enough. They probably thought that I talk a lot about cleaning in this podcast. Whereas, as you know, I talk more about overarching business strategy and numbers and tips and tricks and like failures and things like that. So it's not really catered to the general public of cleaning. But it was really cool to get a national TV like morning talk show shout out for Self-Made. There was a lot of new downloads on the podcast after that. And I'm gonna let you in on something as well. Every time I've been on TV or radio, I get maybe 1 to 5 cleaning quotes. I'll get a couple phone calls, a couple emails, a couple of booking requests, nothing crazy. The morning show, however, as soon as I got out of that studio and I looked at my phone lit up with quote requests. I got 50 in the span of like 5 minutes. Stacey was telling me like the phone was ringing off the hook in Bunbury. People were calling nonstop, asking about me, asking to get a quote, asking for all this stuff. And I think the main reason for that was the morning show obviously has a lot of reach, but it's also because we're in studio, we're talking face to face. It's just much better. It's way more organic. It adds so much value to the interaction as opposed to the other stuff I've done in the past where they've like come to my house and like pre-recorded it and then they've stitched it together and then aired later that night. But I got like 10 times more out of being on the morning show than any other TV appearance, any other radio, newspaper appearance that I've ever had. And so that was just crazy to me. But yeah, we talked about the podcast, which was just crazy. I talked about how the most recent episode was episode 70, the Jim Penman podcast. That was amazing. So I really hope you enjoyed that one. I had a lot of fun putting that together. It was a very, very special moment for me. It just seemed like my life was going from one high to the next. As soon as I got Jim on the podcast, I was like, yes, this is like the best moment of my life. This is better than anything. And then a week later, I'm on the morning show. And I'm like, what? This is the best moment of my life. What is happening? So it's just one thing after the other. It's very cool. I went out to the shops after being on the morning show. People were just looking at me everywhere, particularly like older ladies, That's, I guess, the demographic that watches the morning show. I know my grandma watches the morning show. And so, yeah, a lot of people were looking at me. A couple of people said hi to me and said they saw me on TV. Even my customers were like, hey, I saw you on TV this morning. What's going on? But so back to the point. If you're someone that wants to do content creation, it's so important that you identify what your audience really is. And once you've done that, you identify what type of content performs the best with your type of audience based on you as well, because it depends on the person. Like the way I am and the way my audience interacts with me, they don't really like vlogs as much. Like I have a small segment of my audience that loves vlogs. And so while my vlogs get way less views than anything else I do, they have a much higher engagement rate than any other type of video. Because that small section of the audience that loves it, they engage with it. And so that's what I mean by like middle and bottom of funnel. Like there is a place for that sort of stuff. There's the stuff that doesn't get a lot of views because it's actually the highest converting type of content you'll have. You'll find that, the videos that get tons and tons of views, it's great. It does have a great effect on you and the business, but it's actually the videos at the bottom of the funnel where you have intimate time with the viewer and that sounded weird. You have it's like a closer connection with the viewer. You're like educating them more on something. You're showing them really you're passionate about a certain niche topic. And that's what really motivates and compels people to buy from you. It's not the top of funnel stuff, but the top of funnel stuff is necessary to get lots of people into your audience. So if you do make content, I implore you to just, sit down for a few minutes and really think about who your audience is, what type of content you do. If you're particularly new, you should do lots of different content. When I started my TikTok journey, I was throwing lots of content out there into the world. If you scroll all the way down on my account, you'll see a lot of my videos when I started, it was just me talking to a camera, and it was doing well. Like I was getting 5,000 to 10,000 views on every video of me just talking to the camera about business. But then I had this epiphany. I was like, I'm doing well despite talking about a niche topic to a very small set of people. What if I made a video that could be watched by anyone? And that's when I made that Bunnings shopping video, and it got 5.5 million views and just launched me into where I am now. So, you know, it's a tough exercise. I mean, it's not tough. It can be a tough mental block for people, but there's a lot of people, they say like they're stuck in 200 view jail or whatever, and they say that their videos aren't getting views and they're not getting traction on social media and they're just ready to give up. But I say to that, you just need to keep throwing out more hooks, keep testing other things, keep testing new ideas, see what eventually will work, and then you can start to do more of that. But don't stop doing all the other stuff that you do, especially if you love to do it. There's videos I do that I love to do that don't get many views, and they actually take more effort than all of my other videos. But guess what? I'm going to keep doing it because it's the stuff that I love to do. And so yeah, that's a good exercise with content. Don't get fooled by numbers. The views are really vanity metrics. The sanity metrics is what happens on the back end. If you own a business, the sanity metrics are the conversions that you get from those videos. It is a byproduct of the videos, but the numbers that you see directly on those videos, those are just vanity metrics. They don't mean a lot. They are important. Like I said, top of funnel, that is just vanity metrics, but it's also bringing people into your audience that you can nurture and eventually turn into paying customers. So yeah, but it was a really fun experience. That was my favorite TV thing that I've ever done to this date, the morning show. It was, it was really something special. Larry and Kylie were awesome. Obviously, I don't know how big Kylie is. Like I'm not that familiar with her, but Larry, of course, is like an Australian icon. I've watched him on like so many different shows over the years. Me and my grandmother used to watch him on The Chase when I used to live with my grandparents when I was like first starting out my business. And so that was really awesome. We had a really funny chat before the camera started rolling. He's like, Jason, I want to ask you this off air, but before the camera turns on. If I wanted to murder someone, how much would you charge me to clean it up so that nobody would ever find out? He's like, 10,000, 20,000? I was like, probably 100,000. And then he said some other stuff that I won't repeat, but it was really funny. It's really cool to see behind the scenes of it. And yeah, so I'll probably talk a bit about that whole experience just in case people are curious to know what TV is like. Obviously, I've talked about it before, but this was a unique experience because I was in studio. So yeah, I got to Sydney. They briefed me on kind of what would be talked about, but as you know, with TV, things change last minute all the time. So I came somewhat prepared. I had some brief idea of what I would respond to certain questions with. But anyway, on the day, my segment was scheduled in for 10:15 a.m. I got there at 8:30 because I wanted to be early, and I ended up getting led up into the studio around 9:15. They took me straight to the green room, which was cool. Like I felt like a true celebrity in there. I probably sat in the same room as so many other big names. And they did my makeup, which was the first time I've ever had makeup done in my life, let alone for just TV. And yeah, I had my makeup done. I just kind of chilled in there, went over the talking points a little bit, and just got myself into the zone. I was talking to Scott and Gabby, just taking my mind off the nerves. And then the producer came in. She told me it was time to go, took me into the studio, and that's when I saw it all. Like you see on TV, the screen, you see the people in front of the screen, Larry and Kylie, but behind it or in front of it, like behind the cameras, it is a very, very elaborate setup. It was impressive. And so I got there, I watched them talking about something, and then they cut to commercials, and then Larry and Kylie come out. We had a brief chat there. We cracked a few jokes. Larry's really funny. He was making a lot of jokes. He's a really, really cool guy. And then we went and sat down on the couch, and we had a brief like 5-minute chat before my segment. And that was great as well. It was good at easing the nerves because we can talk a bit before going live on TV. And then they started counting down from 20. And when it was 3, 2, 1, we got into our positions, and Larry and Kylie introduced me. And then we kicked it off, and it was like a 7-minute segment. It was really good. And after that, we had some really nice food at the Channel 7 studios, and we just went home, and I started replying to all the calls and emails and texts I was getting from the people that had seen me on there. And I was told by someone that works at Channel 7 that there was around 500,000 people watching that live. So pretty insane numbers. It was more than 500,000, I was told. So yeah. But yeah, I still can't really believe all that happened. And it's only going to be up from here. I've had a lot more requests to go and do stuff now. I've got some radio stuff and even some more TV stuff potentially being lined up soon. So that's exciting. And of course, it's just great for the business. As much fun as it is just for me, myself, to be able to like tell friends and family I'm doing this and share the excitement with them, it is absolute gold for the business. This is stuff that money just can't buy. It is so organic, it's so real, and it's so powerful to, like I said, SEO, the backlinks I'm getting right now, the credibility my business is getting online that is boosting my visibility in search. That is priceless. It is invaluable. It is just, you cannot put a price tag on that. And so I'm very grateful for everything that's happened. It's been a pretty crazy couple of weeks. And, the fact that I'm in this position where I've got a business that can run without me, so I can just kind of go to Sydney on a week's notice and stay here for a week and do this cool stuff while the business is running in the background. You need to get yourself into a position because you don't know what's around the corner. It can be something great like this. It can be something bad, but you want your business to be in a position where you can give yourself the flexibility and the freedom to leave it, but not leave it stranded, not leave it for dead. You don't want your business to just run without you. You want it to be able to grow without you. And that's what I've done. So yeah, the effect it's had is crazy. I'm still going through all the quotes with Stacey. Bunbury got so many quotes. We got a ton of quotes in Perth. So we're now sifting through that. I reckon once we tally it all up and once we convert all the quotes, also side note, it's really easy to convert someone into a paying customer when they've found you on TV. Go figure. So once we tally everything up and once we convert everyone, I reckon I've made $200,000 worth of yearly recurring work from that 7-minute TV segment that I paid no money for. And all of this goes back to one video of me shopping for a mop at Kmart. So there you go. Really awesome experience. Really, really great for me in the business. So I'm super grateful for that. Thank you so much for all of you that listen to this podcast. It's still not massive. Like this podcast, I'm 71 episodes in. It's not a huge podcast by any means. I get a nice amount of downloads and people listening. This is really a passion of mine, talking to you guys and sharing my experiences and tips and pitfalls and all that stuff. And so it's a privilege to be able to do this with you. And I will be doing this for as long as I can realistically do it for. As when I'm on my deathbed, I'll probably film my last podcast and tell you all the takeaways I've had in my entire life leading up to that point. So yeah, that's what's happened in my life at the moment. That's what's happened recently. And what else? Yeah, no, it's been good. So I hope you enjoyed the gym podcast. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I'm going to try to get some more cool guests on here. I'm lucky enough now to have the credibility to be able to, and the social presence and platform to be able to message cool people and invite them on the podcast and try to interview some people. So I'm going to start lining up more interviews. I think now that I've got that Jim Penman one done and dusted, that'll be good credibility. That's good proof of concept that I'm able to interview people and we're able to put a good episode together. So let me know on Instagram, in the comments of this, or on TikTok, just send me a DM or comment on my video like, hey, I want to see so-and-so on the podcast. Hey, it would be great if you could get this person on the podcast, and I'll try my best to get people on because I'm really keen to talk to more people. That episode was a lot of fun. Even all the prep work that went into it, it was super, super fun, and I'm really keen to do more of it. So let me know who you'd like to see me interview on Self-Made, and I'll look forward to doing that. And yeah, I'll play the morning show recording. If you're listening to this on audio, you can just go, like I said, to enhancedcleaning.com.au/morning show and you'll be able to see it there. Or if you're on YouTube right now, you'll be able to see it play just after this. So thanks so much for sticking around. What a crazy couple of weeks it's been. Hope you're killing it as well. Hope you're smashing your goals. And I hope that you're having a great day or night and week. So with that being said, I'll play the morning show clip now and I will talk to you again next time.
Well, if you're guilty of putting off that weekly clean
For 30 years.
like most of us, you might want to take some inspo from our next guest. Since leaving school, Jason Shipway decided to take an unconventional career path, turning his childhood passion for cleaning into a full-time job.
Now he's 24. The West Aussie is making cleaning cool with his booming business, hundreds of thousands of followers, and a popular podcast. There's no excuse not to spruce up your space.
We welcome Jason Shipway to the Morning Show. Hi, Jason.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You were just 18 when you started a cleaning business. So what made you decide to start in the cleaning world?
Well, I was living with my grandparents at the time, and I'd been out of school for about 4 years. And when I turned 18, they were like, you got to get a job. And I applied to a whole bunch of different places. Didn't have much luck because I didn't have people skills at the time. And so I'm like, all right, I've got no skills, no education, no qualifications. I always loved cleaning and knew I wanted to start a business. And so that's what I did. And 3 months in, I got my first client. It was a $27 house clean. It took me 4.5 hours, but I tell you what, I was the happiest guy on earth to be making $6 an hour that day. And it's actually a very special day today because it is my grandmother's 75th birthday. So I want to say a big special shout out to Vicky Bartlett back in Bunbury, WA. Happy birthday, Nana.
Vicky, happy birthday.
What a birthday present to have you on the telly today. Happy birthday, Vicky. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Now, last year you won there's a competition, Australia's fastest cleaner, and you won that.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like the Olympics of cleaning.
What do you have to do?
Well, we got flown out to Sydney and we were put in this white-style house on like a movie set. And we met Matty J, who was hosting. He was great. And there was this team called the Spill Squad. They were tasked with making as much mess as humanly possible for us to clean up. It was orange juice, soy sauce, ice cream. And, I mean, what a great job to get paid to make mess. I never got paid by my parents. But so we had the first round of heats. It took about 10 to 15 minutes to clean that. Then we had the final speed round and I won by just 2 seconds.
Wow, that is so good. You're also a qualified trauma and crime scene cleaner. So you've upped your skill level to sort of elite level now.
Yeah, I always had an interest in doing it and I had the opportunity last year to get certified and I went over to Brisbane and did the practical training for it, which was really cool. And I didn't think much of it at the time, but a week later when I got back to Bunbury, we got our first call ever about forensic cleaning and it just so happened that I'd been certified and I did my first forensic clean that week.
OK, that can't be fun. Come on. I know you're enjoying this. That can't be fun.
It's not fun. It is very gratifying work. I love that we're able to help people through a tough time and I love the compassion there. Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's get some practical advice while you're here because as you probably are aware, Kylie and I love cleaning. What are the cleaning tools that you can't live without?
Well, first of all, I can't live without a magic eraser. It's in the name. It really is magic. I love using them for walls and we use them in a lot of vacate cleans. Next is an ostrich feather duster. I don't know how, but for some reason, ostrich feathers dust just sticks to them like glue. It is an amazing tool for cleaning skirting boards, door frames, ceiling fans and all the likes. A good all-purpose spray, not one that you just find off the shelf at Woolies or Bunnings, but one that can really do everything. And lastly, I would say a multi-use mop. One like a spin mop that you can use on walls and floors and all the rest.
OK, so there are people who don't like cleaning. What are your top tips for making it more enjoyable and getting it done quicker? Because you're the speed king as well.
Yeah, well, I would say firstly, just put a little essential cleaning kit in every main room of the house. So every now and then, if you want to clean one room, you can just grab a few products out and do a quick speed clean. Next, I would say to stick to a consistent schedule. Cleaning rewards people who are disciplined. So even if it's just once a month or once a fortnight or once a week, just have that dedicated day where you can clean the house. Next, I would say go top to bottom and left to right. This is a great system that we use in professional cleaning. You start at the top of a room, you work your way down and you go in a clockwise direction left to right. And lastly, I would say just break it up into bite-sized chunks. So if you look at a big room with a big floor space, it may look overwhelming, but if you just imagine there's all these different squares there, you just clean one square at a time and work your way back.
I've never heard that clock thing before. That's going to change my life.
It changed my life.
What, working clockwise?
No, going top to bottom and working like left to right.
Top to bottom, left to right.
Life changer.
Great tip.
Yeah.
Changed my life too. I'll have to tell the people who clean my place that that's the way I want it to work. I don't want them. Yeah,
they won't want to hear that.
Well, they don't want to work fast either because by the hour, you know how that works. You are talking about something that most people really hate doing with a sparkle in your eye. What do you say to people who really just hate cleaning? And that would be a lot of our audience.
Well, just get someone like me to do it.
Yeah,
just call us. Head to the website and book us.
100,000 fans over the years. Why are people fascinated about cleaning?
Well-
Because I get it. I can watch cleaning, TikTok or whatever. I find them fascinating.
Weirdo.
Yeah, I know. Well, why?
sorry.
But why is that?
Well, I'll talk from my perspective.
Yeah.
I like watching cooking videos,
Yeah.
but I don't like to cook. I don't like to prepare the ingredients, buy everything, cook, clean up. And so I think maybe there's a lot of people out there who are time poor, lack the energy or the patience to clean themselves, but they like seeing the end result. Or maybe there's just people that like to get some nifty tips and hacks.
Yeah.
It's great. Fascinating. But
I need some more tips. Like, what do you use in your bathroom that's like you couldn't live without?
Well, I use an acidic cleaner, so I use a sulfamic acid-based cleaner. It cuts through all the limescale build-up and the hard water
That's
stains.
what I like, that soapy scum stuff. Right?
Yes.
That's really hard to get rid of.
And I use a scraper blade, so a Trojan scraper from Bunnings or any other
Yeah.
brand. You can grab one of those and it just scrapes everything off like it's nothing.
Right, I use it on my legs, but should I use it on the
Oh, I thought...
to get the
if it
spray
works-
tan off?
If it
I
works
thought
on
you
your legs,
used-
it should work on the shower
I thought
too.
you used a gurney on your legs. No?
Perhaps I should.
What do you get? Most important question we're going to ask you. What are you getting Nan for her birthday?
Well, I got her this, but I guess if you put me on the spot, I'll get her some flowers when I'm back home and I'll take her out to a nice dinner as well.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Lovely.
That's the
Oh,
plan.
and you can all sit around and listen to your podcast together. You've got a podcast coming out?
Yeah, so I've got a podcast that I've been running for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's called Self-Made, spelled M-A-I-D. I'm quite proud of that name. I came up with it myself. I've got about 70 episodes, most that I've done by myself. I recently interviewed Jim Penman, the founder and CEO of Jim's Group, so that was a big pull and that was a great episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love to extract thoughts and ideas from the depths of my head and get them out there into the world so other people can learn and grow with me.
Okay, so from a kid that dropped out of school at 14 to now running your own business, you've got people working for you, I take it?
About 45.
45 people working for you. Look at you go. Good on you. That's fantastic.
Thanks, Kylie.
You go home and sort out your bath scums, your soap scum in your bath, please. None of us,
I don't.
none of us
Just-
wanted to know that you've got soap scum in your bath.
No, I don't. I'm just like, that's one of the
Hey, if you
things
need
which is
someone to take care
hard.
of it, you know who
It's
to
just,
call
it's hard.
How long are you here for in this part of the world?
I'll be in Sydney for a week. I've been
Could you
here
get
a
over
lot
and look?
recently.
Could you quickly zip over after the show and look after Kylie's soap scum in her
We
bath?
can
Can you
arrange
stop
something.
saying soap scum?
Well, you said it.
I know. I'm just saying it's that stuff that gets on the tiles is really hard to get off. And you wear as much fake tan and makeup as I do.
Am I allowed to make a TikTok in your house, or is that...
Yes.
Oh, now
Not the first. Hey, good to see you, mate. Congrats. Happy birthday to Nan.
Thanks, Larry.
Just ahead.